Hey, YouTube and Facebook. We just wanted to come to you guys real quick and just give our take on what we saw in the debate between President Trump, Joe Biden, and Chris Wallace. So, our man, President Trump, had to take on two people. I'm sure all of you guys saw that. I'm sure that was very obvious. You want to say something?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be like that. I wanted to gauge like how bad Chris Wallace was going to do because he's a Democrat, and I didn't understand why he was doing that. And then all the other debates are going to be like even worse Democrats. So, I mean, to me, my opinion, I don't even think he should even do more of the debates, and he should just point out the. I don't think that.
I think he should. He has to do the debates.
I don't think that Pence should debate Harris. Or I don't, because basically every single question was to set up Trump. Basically, every single question, Chris Wallace interrupted Trump. Trump had to interrupt to get time in, and he went in knowing that. That's why he started off doing it right away, because Chris Wallace was interrupting him with Biden. Biden got to interrupt when he wanted to. He also let Biden answer whenever he wanted to and go as long as he wanted to. He cut Trump off almost every time in the middle of his stuff. I mean, it was basically Trump versus Biden and Chris Wallace. And and then Biden was sitting there saying that he was for. He wasn't for the Green New Deal, and then he said the Green New Deal is going to make millions of dollars or whatever, and then he said, and then Chris Wallace caught that, and he was like, so you're for the Green New Deal? And then he said, no, I'm not for the Green New Deal, and then Chris Wallace switched the subject because he just messed up, and in fact, when Biden was like on the verge, you could see that he was going to mess up and stuff like that. Chris Wallace would pivot the conversation, and a lot of new people that aren't really used to watching debates like that probably would have missed all that.
Yeah, but I feel like he should continue to debate. If he doesn't, they're going to say, oh, that's a sign of weakness. So I have to, on this, honey, I have to disagree with you.
And that's fine to disagree because we're in America. But my point of why he shouldn't do it is because basically he can use the example of what just happened. Just imagine what's going to happen. You have I think ABC or CBS, one of those, ABC or CBS used Biden's rally, Trump's rally, and and made it seem like it was Biden's rally, and edited out things. And there was people that went on there. They were like, "Hey, this is me. I was pretty sure I was at a Trump rally." So
a few things that I felt like were really good that the president got to point out was he got to point out his 47-month record versus Joe Biden's 47 years. He consistently asked Joe Biden, why didn't you do these things while you had the opportunity?
And why was Biden's son Russia foreign ties and stuff like that off limits, and Chris Wallace cut Trump off every time.
Right.
And Trump said, I think this is pretty, because he was saying, I want to talk to more things with substance or whatever. And he's like, man, I think this is pretty important. So, I mean, he didn't have any, what questions did he really truly have for Biden? He didn't even ask him questions.
Right. Well, we knew Chris Wallace is a Democrat. And in my opinion, this is where President Trump shines, because he did take on. He's been taking on the media now for almost 4 years.
And that's all he needed to do. He has nothing to gain by debating him again. He had nothing to gain by debating him this time.
But President Trump called for the debate.
Yeah, the reason why he needed to debate him this one time is because you needed to see that Biden was put on stage so people can see Biden. That he will be asked some questions, and I think Trump probably expected him to be asked more questions than that, but for it to be unfair, but not this unfair, and for no questions. Basically, what questions was Biden asked that was risky for Biden at all? Anything? Nothing about his son. Nothing about his policy. In fact, Chris Wallace made statements instead of questions.
Right. He made a lot of statements to the president. He did.
Trump. Like it was. I didn't like it. I think Trump handled himself very, very well.
He did.
But I don't see what he can do more versus somebody that's going to be worse than that.
Well, we have
and guess what? They have and the reason why Chris Wallace did as bad as he did is because he has nothing to lose, because this is it. This election is the most important election. He has nothing to lose, and so he went forward for that. So just imagine the other people that are way worse than Chris Wallace. They have nothing to lose but to sit there and go on an attack on him and basically help Biden.
So I'm not sure who the other moderators are going to be. We do know Chris Wallace is a registered Democrat. And we do know that, he's always been in favor of his party. But we also know that President Trump, I mean, this is like probably the first time Daniel and I have been in disagreement about something, in as far as President Trump debating, because there's a whole election cycle remaining. We still have quite a chunk of time, and things change so quickly during an election cycle from day to day. And so there are going to be other things that are going to need to be said and brought out. There were people that did not know about Hunter Biden. Everybody doesn't
but
watch
he didn't
Facebook like we do.
Basically get to really bring up. He didn't get to. He got interrupted, and basically, and even on top of that.
But people are gonna search it. They're gonna look for it.
Chris Wallace, yeah, and that's why he needed this one-time thing. But if there's some other bombshell stuff, then maybe. But even Chris Wallace asked Biden a question, and Biden said, "I'm not going to answer that." And he was allowed to do that.
Right.
If you look at what Trump was asked, he was asked questions, and then what Chris Wallace did is when he didn't like the answer, he would ask him, "Well, what I'm saying is this." But Biden was allowed to answer questions in whatever fashion that he wanted to, and those answers were accepted. If he didn't want to answer it, he didn't have to. Trump, he asked some questions multiple times. Well, this is what he didn't let him pivot. If you look at it, when a question was asked, basically Trump was asked a question, right, and he let Biden go first every time except for 2 or 3 times. Right, and so Biden would not only sit there. The question was against Trump, and he would sit there and get to attack Trump, and then he would add something else in there that had nothing to do with that topic. So Trump had to take up his 2 minutes that he barely got to answer what the question was that was attacked, and plus the extra thing that Biden just put in there.
Right. And I mean, even at the end of the debate, you saw Biden go over to Wallace, kind of palling around a little bit, and you saw Wallace also criticizing the president in little snide ways and stuff. So we agree, Daniel and I agree that, this was a bias, but I feel like there were things, I know that there's a voting bloc out there that doesn't know some of the things that President Trump talked about. A lot of people don't know about Biden lying about going to Delaware State. A lot of people don't know about Hunter Biden's dealings and things like that. I wished, and a lot of people don't know about the crime bill, and they don't realize that President Trump has done the First Step Act as well as the Second Step Act that he proposed now.
But he didn't get to talk about a lot of those things like that into detail, and he was interrupted. I agree and disagree with you that basically Biden got to say whatever he wanted to say, and basically Trump was had to get in what he was able to say. And the thing is that I don't see what can be accomplished by him debating again when it's going to be even more unfair.
We still haven't heard anything about abortion. There are a lot of topics that the American people that they care about. So we haven't heard anything about these items yet. And President Trump, he has a way, you guys, and you'll remember this from 2016, and even tonight, he has a way of carving out a path where he's able to get in those things that a lot of people that may not follow things we do.
He does better as it goes on. I know that.
Well, this is what I will say,
and this is why I say I agree and disagree really, is the simple fact that what you just saw tonight was conservatives know all the things that you said that most people don't know. Trump's side knows that, right?
Right.
And then some of his side does know it, but doesn't care, and then some of it doesn't. Some of them don't know it. Independents, I believe that in this situation, a lot of stuff that's going on, they're independent because they're not being brainwashed completely by the left, and so that means that they probably do know about some of this stuff too, just like the Republicans. So tonight, I think more what in a normal debate, you would be trying to reach to the independents. When you look at the polls, Trump already he's beating Biden in the independents. So like I said, the independents are woke on what's going on. Now the left, they don't listen to nothing but the left. So this was an opportunity for the left to see some stuff, right? But a lot of the left are the young people and the people that don't really be voting,
that are not going to vote.
They might not even vote.
They're not going to vote.
But there's going to be some new voters. They're not even used to debates, and so they don't even know how debates are run. And so what they just saw right now, they might not even realize what they just saw was completely unfair. You know what I'm saying? That's not how debate is ran. You don't sit there and do that. And then he's sitting there.
A moderator.
Yeah, a moderator is not supposed to do that. And Chris Wallace should never be allowed to moderate again.
Ever
and he was a little bad last time in 2016, but not like this. And that's because everything was on the line. And I don't understand why every question that was lined up was completely to set up Trump and Trump defending himself. Every question was to put Trump on the defense, and Biden was allowed to sit there and attack. And he let him go first almost every time, and Biden would also attack again, and he didn't even want to let him answer and elaborate on the stuff. And then when he would get ready to answer on and what he had on his mind, Chris Wallace was trying to throw him off by saying, "Okay, Mr. President," and stop him from answering and be like, "You have 2 minutes and doing this." So he was trying to throw him off from what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? When you
so we see you, Chris Wallace. We know what you did.
Yeah.
We know what's going on.
You guys subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Hit the bell so that you can get all the notifications when we drop a video. And right now, when this video is over, go to our YouTube channel. Show us love so we can get the word out, because we have to be the real news, because the rest of the news is fake.
All right. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Davis versus Davis debate on whether or not there should be another debate. Anyway, God bless y'all.